somewhere and suddenly you hear a noise, and before you know something, a bullet has hit your head. What happens? Hello? What happens? How many of you fear death? Tell me one thing. How many of you fear death? Raise your hands. Some of you have raised your hands and others are telling lies. Okay? Everyone fears death. But I'll tell you a story right now of Captain Jubin Mathews, what he did. Captain Jubin Mathews, one of my battalion officers in the 1980s was posted, sorry, it was 90s, I think, 90s, was posted in the J&K, and he was involved in active insurgency operations. One day, at 2 o'clock at night, there was a message, and they got to know that in the nearby village, in a house, there was some terrorists hiding. So immediately, we have something called QRT, a quick reaction team. A quick reaction team was ordered immediately, and now in the army, there's an operation when you go and search these houses. There is a operations team and there is a support team. The operation team actually goes in and searches the house, whereas the support team stays outside to support. So Captain Jubin Mathews was heading the support team, and there was another captain, we don't know his name, and he was in the operational team. So I told you it was midnight. There were no lights inside the house. There was some street light, so there was very dim light. So he went in, very stealthily with his gun, and very, very agile, very alert, looking at where could they suddenly come up from. Because the search operation, they had 2 stories to search. So you search one story, you secure it, then you go to the second one. So when he went inside, another Jawan followed him. And a third Jawan was also there, right at the entrance, when suddenly a bullet came and hit Jubin Mathews. Jubin Mathews, other one. When he fell down, Jubin Mathews could not make out whether he is injured or dead. So what should he have done? If you are in his place, what would you do? Now you've got your own comrade, he's there inside, you have heard the bullet fire, so that means you know there is danger inside, and your colleague has fallen down and you don't know whether he's dead or alive. He's dead or only injured. What would you do? Can me? Anyone, quickly. I want quick reactions. And by the way, I want to tell you that this is not going to be a lecture. If you thought somebody is going to come and give you a boring lecture, bore to hone nahi dunga. Bore hona mana hai. Na sone dunga, na bore hone dunga. Right? That's a guarantee. So you have to interact with me. It's a conversation, please. Okay, so what would you do if you were in Captain Jubin Mathews' place?
I would order other soldiers to take him to city outside the house, and myself remain in the house because I am
I am at the door and he's fallen down. Now what do I do? Order Jawans ki go inside.
So he is inside the house.
Who's? Captain Jubin Mathews at the door. He is not inside. He was in the support team.
And the injured person is inside the house.
Inside the house, yeah.
First of all, I would take him to safety, like stretch his leg and pull him out.
So let's say that's the corner of the room where that gentleman sitting with the black t-shirt. So my friend is there injured and I am here. So I can't drag his leg. I have to go inside. Will I go inside because I know I'll also be killed?
We will continue with the operation.
How will you continue? I am saying, what is the continuation? That let him lie there? Or send other people? What are you doing? Tell me quickly. I want to see some reactions.
We will split our team in 2 groups, and 1 group will be there for helping him, and 1 group will perform the operation.
Okay, so you are saying now the support team will go and support him. Where is Captain Jubin Mathews going to be there? He is going to be outside directing operations, is it?
He will be leading from front.
He'll be leading from front. So he'll go in front. And if something happens to him, there's nobody to lead them anymore now. Anyway, there are a lot of these situations where leaders have to decide on the spot. You don't get so much of time the way you people are thinking. Okay, and you can't go to Google and say, मैं क्या करूं? No, you can go to ChatGPT. और उन दिनों में तो होता भी नहीं था जबकि मैं बात कर रहा हूं. So what Captain Jubin Mathew did, he didn't think at all. He just crawled, पेट के बल, and lifted him on his shoulder, something called fireman lift, and brought him out. The moment he was about to reach the door, another bullet fired and hit Jubin Mathew on his head. He was wearing a helmet, so he didn't die, but his brain was shattered. He was immediately taken to the hospital. He was declared dangerously ill. Dangerously ill means बचने के चांस कम हैं. He was immediately, a helicopter was ordered and he was evacuated to Jammu hospital. Luckily he survived. He stayed there for 1 month, and after 1 month he was given sick leave. Now sick leave is given in the army when the treatment is over, but now you need rest and recoup. So you go to rest. So they say go home, relax. After 1 month come back. If you are found okay, you will go back to your battalion. If you are not found okay, you will continue with another treatment. So Jubin Mathew went back to the transit camp. He belonged to Delhi. So really speaking, he should have taken the night train from Jammu to Delhi. But he didn't do that. He stayed back at night. Early in the morning, he caught the convoy to Srinagar. From Srinagar, he caught another convoy to his battalion and reported to his battalion. So the commanding officer has already got a signal from MH Jammu, that your military hospital Jammu, that he has been given sick leave. So he says, why are you here? You should be in your home now. He said, sir, what will I do at home? कितना boring है वहाँ का, क्या करूँगा मैं? यहाँ तो action है. So he said, but I can't take you because medical advice के against I can't go. He said, sir, I am a volunteer. You can take it in writing from me. I won't be at my risk, but I don't want to be at home. He said, what will you do here? I can't employ you. He said, sir, I can't go on active duty, per somebody's always in the headquarters, so I can do at least soft duties. There are 20 officers authorized in the battalion. We are already 12. If I also go away, there will be 11 left. So that means my burden will be shared by the other officers. I don't want that to happen. That I'll be sitting and doing nothing and they'll be doing extra work. So the commanding officer was double-minded, because it's a very good example. Somebody setting a very good example and then you're not accepting it. So he rang up his boss, brigade commander. Brigade commander said, my risk, take him on parade and take a certificate from him. So Jubin Mathew stayed back. Another week later, another incident happened. And Jubin Mathews was on duty as he was supposed to be, but he found that if he waited for another QR to be ready, for another officer to come, it would take more time. So he went in for another operation. And this time got a second bullet, but not in his head, somewhere else, in his knee or something, I don't know. My question to all of you is, why did Jubin Mathew do that? Tell me, what do you think? Why did Jubin Mathew do that?
Love for nation.
Love for nation.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Why did Jubin Mathew do that?
Sir, commitment to duty.
Commitment to duty. Very good. Commitment to duty. That's a nice one.
Jubin Mathews, he doesn't wanted to put pressure on other officers. That's why he wanted to do the operation.
Okay. Answer another question. And this time I'm going to ask some girls. Tell me, how many people in the corporate would do this? Sorry?
No one.
No one. Anyone else? None? No. That's wrong. There are some corporates also where people have done this, but it is very, very little. Very little. Right? Why Captain Jubin Mathews did, I'll come to that in a little while. But let me ask you another question. Where do you think people in the army come from? Are they imported? from Mars and Jupiter or something? Or are they imported from another country? Where do they come from? From the same villages and from the same schools and colleges that you are from. Right? And we have got hundreds of cases where two brothers, one goes in the corporate, the other one goes in the army, and the one in the army does it and the one in the corporate doesn't do it. Can somebody tell me why? What's the reason? Are you learning something new? Are you getting something? Or are we wasting each other's time? Okay. Why does this happen? People say patriotism. He said that. I can tell you one thing. Let me assure you. How many of you are patriotic? Raise hands. All of you. Who are not patriotic? Because I can't make out if everyone raised a hand or not. So nobody says he is not patriotic. He or she is not patriotic. So you're all patriotic. I am a patriotic. I don't think in the army we have people who are more patriotic than. So I don't think I am more patriotic than him. I don't think so. It's not patriotic. I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of things we do for the country, but we die not as much for the country as for our Paltan. इज्जत ऑफ द पल्टन, द बटालियन. और ये जो वर्ड है ना इज्जत, जो आपके हिंदी शब्दकोश में, जो डिक्शनरी में इज्जत है, ये वो नहीं है. ये जब तक ग्राउंड पे रह के गोलियां चलती देख ना लो, ये वो इज्जत समझ नहीं आती. जो मेरी यूनिट का झंडा है, जो मेरी यूनिट का लोगो है, क्रेस्ट है, इसको हम क्रेस्ट बोलते हैं, आप लोगो बोलते हैं, उसकी जो हमें वैल्यू है ना, वो तुम नहीं समझ सकते. तुम नहीं समझ सकते. I don't have time today to tell you hundreds other stories where I have seen a Jawan, because he is from the same regiment as mine, I have helped him where he said, sir, आपने इतना क्यों किया? मैं कहा तुम्हें मालूम नहीं है, मैं तुम्हारी रेजिमेंट का हूँ. ना कभी मैं उसको मिला हूँ, ना मेरे को वो कभी मिला है. वो फौज में भर्ती हुआ मेरे रिटायर होने के बाद. Why? Because I saw that logo there. Will a chap from the corporate ever do it? Never. Never. So, we don't do it for the nation as much as for the battalion, for my commanding officer and for my peers. I got commissioned in 1970 December, and my first posting was in Sikkim, and I was in a place, have you heard of Nathula? So I was not in Nathula. There's a similar, Allah means a pass. So I was in another pass nearby called Yakla. Right? That was my first posting. And I learnt right there that अगर मेरे को कुछ हो गया तो ना मेरे मम्मी पापा आ सकते हैं, ना मेरा भाई आ सकता है, ना मेरा अंकल आ सकता है, कोई ताया मामा कोई नहीं आएगा. यही लोग हैं. अगर मेरे को खून की जरूरत है तो ये खून देंगे. कौन है? ये मुस्लिम है, वो सिख है, वो कोई है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. मेरे को खून जो चाहिए लाल कलर का खून चाहिए, जिसका मर्जी हो. That is why we live in the same, we eat in the same langar. To us it doesn't matter whether you are a Hindu or a Muslim or a Isai or whatever. It doesn't matter. We have a dharam sthal जहां सब भगवानों की पूजा एक जगह की जाती है. Right? So that is what the army is, and today we are going to learn something about this. Let's see today what are the values you can pick up from the army and apply them in your life. So what I had told your team yesterday, and I don't see that happening, I wanted that you should write down notes on whatever you think. So don't write down what I am saying. Don't believe what I am saying, because it is my life. Your life is different than my life. So take down what you think is important for you. Now where are those? You haven't given away, no? Where's Madhur? आधा काम करते हो, आधा भूल जाते हो. जल्दी अभी बांट दो. चलो जल्दी से. Let me see how quickly. I'm going to give you a small notebook. And that small notebook is also going to make sure that if you're going to forget me, you will not forget me. Okay. It has my telephone, my WhatsApp number, मेरा पूरा जन्म पत्री है उसके ऊपर. You want to know my date of birth, you want to know everything about me. दुनिया में हजारों ब्रिगेडियर हैं, दुनिया में हजारों सुशील हैं और हजारों ही भसीन है, लेकिन ब्रिगेडियर सुशील भसीन दुनिया में एक ही है. So you Google, you will get everything there. And I am on all social media other than Snapchat and TikTok. ठीक है, बाकी सब में मिल जाऊंगा कहीं ना कहीं आपका. Anyway, so all those who want to remain connected with me can do so. Okay, now, so I was going to say that today I'm going to tell you certain things because I'm very focused and I've taken a lot of trouble in finding out from your team, going to your website. I read every word of what he was reading out from the skill development, and I'm going to have a question for him because he's from the skill development. And he talked about Commando Talks, and I'm going to ask him some questions, so be ready. Be ready, you may be exposed. Okay, so in this session today, we are going to explore, when you talk of commandos, what are those principles that guide a commando in the battlefield that can be applied in your life, in your academic, in your personal and your professional lives. Does that make sense? So it will be totally focused on you and not on that commando. वो क्या करता है जो तुम भी कर सकते हो? How many of you think that will be good? Raise your hand, say if it is really good. यार तुम्हारे ये ना एक्शन बड़े lethargic हैं, आज छुट्टी है इसलिए मैं भी हाँ. Okay, hands down, put your hands up again and down and once again. Yeah, that's better. ये मेरे को स्पीड चाहिए और बड़े अच्छे reactions, responses चाहिए, ठीक है? अच्छा, now, so this is what we are going to do, and I've given you this to write down the notes. I hope you have pencils and pens. नहीं तो अपने phone पे लिख लो because you are electronic people. Okay, so now let's go further and see what we have in store for you. My focus today is going to be on your 4 to 5 years. How many of you first year students? Raise hands. How many second year? And how many third to whatever? Handful. Okay, just 4. So most of you are first and second year students. So I've written 5 because your first year students have just come in. So you have complete 5 years. So 4 to 5 years. I am not going to focus on your life in the corporate world. I am going to focus on कि ये 4-5 साल में आप क्या करेंगे ताकि जो जिंदगी आप जीना चाहते हैं वो जिंदगी जिए. Will that be good? I am going to give you some direction today, some ideas today, और उनमें से देखना आपके लिए क्या अप्लाई करता है. Wherever you feel कि हाँ ये मेरे लिए है, ये मैं कर सकता हूं या कर सकती हूं, ये करने से मेरे को फायदा हो सकता है, उसी को लिखिएगा. और जो लगता है कि ये ऐसे बकवास कर रहा है वो मत लिखना. और अगर आप कुछ कर रहे हो ऑलरेडी, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूं और आप ऑलरेडी कर रहे हो, वो भी मत लिखना. Sometimes you get validated. You get validated. Oh, I do this, and he also says it must be done. So ठीक ही कर रहा हूं. ठीक है? So this is what we are going to be working on. So now I want to thank the IIT BHU for a very, very interesting session that I have come for. I have prepared for it very separately, and I don't know how many of you would know, but the team would know that I was up till about 2:33 only to finalize that I was not able to, because there's so much to talk about, so much to talk about. I didn't know what to, मेरे को eliminate करने की problem थी, मेरे को content डालने की problem नहीं थी. And now also, I don't know whether I have content for 1 hour or more. But one thing is there. You all came late. At 4 o'clock तो यहाँ पे 9 बंदे थे, मैंने गिन लिए. There were 9 people at 4 o'clock, which is bad, right? 4 o'clock means 5 to 4 you should be seated here. So, and we started at about 4:25 with all the chaos that happened, right? So 4:25 to 1 hour 15 minutes was promised to me. So 4:25 to 5:25, almost quarter to 6. Quarter to 6 तक तो मैं दरवाज़ा बंद करने वाला हूँ, बाहर जाना मना है. अभी आप कैद हो गए हैं, खुशी से काम करो, ठीक है. अगर बहुत दुख हो रहा है, किसी के साथ अपॉइंटमेंट है शाम को, किसी के साथ डेट है, कहीं कोई मूवी जाना है, तो अभी वो भूल जाओ. अभी से मैसेज कर दो, सॉरी टुडे आई हैव गॉट अ वेरी बैड स्टमक, आई कांट कम. और अब यू हैव मोर एक्सक्यूजेस देन दैट. सो आई एम वेरी वेरी grateful, particularly to Chavi, who's not here, and then of course to Rania, Dipank. Is Dipank here? Oh, very good. Yeah, Dipank. And Ritvik is here. Oh, very good. Ritvik is there. And of course, so Rania I just met. And then of course the new people that came in, Madhur and yeah, I'm always getting mixed on this name. Kusarga? Huh? Kushagra. अब नहीं मैं भूलूंगा. Okay, sorry for that. Kushagra and Kushagra and Madhur have been really, really good to me. Very, very grateful to you for all the help that you have given me. So I'm very grateful to all of you. Now, thank you. Today we are here for Commando Talks. And my question to my friend from Skill Development Center is, Commando का मतलब क्या होता है?
Commando is a person who fights for himself. Basically, he fights within.
He fights within. Okay. Anyone else? आपको कोई बोलता हो कमांडो आ गया, तो क्या समझते हैं आप? One word. What do you think about that commando? Huh? Very disciplined guy. So discipline is one note karna. Discipline. What else? What do you think of a commando? Highly determined. Very good. I normally carry chocolates. आज मैं भूल गया. My chocolates fly like that. Okay. Fearless. Very good. So disciplined, highly determined, and he said fearless. तीन चीजें हो गई. और anything else? Full of जोश. Very good. Yeah. ये लड़कियों को कुछ नहीं पता है. आजकल लड़कियों को बहुत पता होता है. Today, you know, I find when I go to YouTube and all, वो लड़कियों को हमारे से बहुत ज़्यादा पता है, पर वो बोल नहीं रही हैं अभी. हाँ जी. इंजीनियर गर्ल्स है ना, बड़ी टेक्निकल है, इसलिए पता नहीं कहाँ. हाँ जी. What is commandos? Any girl? वो तो fearless बोल दिया ना उसने. उसका ही derivation है. In unparalleled leadership quality. That's good. But I want some girls to answer. Quick, 2-3 girls. सोचें और बताएं. Problem solver. Yes. Commandos are for problem solvers. कहीं से मेरी PPT ना देख लियो. अच्छा. Anyone else? Teamwork. Very good. A commando will not operate only by himself. He will operate as a team. And here I am not using much of, because अभी तक commandos में लड़कियां बहुत कम है, पर हैं. Okay. And अच्छा. Anyway, who else? Quickly. Sorry. Daring. Training. Very important. Training, discipline, commitment. ये तो तीन चीजें तो घोट के भर देते हैं. ठीक है ना? Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little more about commandos a little later, because ये commando talks क्यों है और हम आपको commando talks से क्या बताने वाले हैं और आपके साथ क्या relationship है commando का, वो आज हम establish कर देंगे. Your relationship with a commando will be, आज नॉट लग जाएगी, 7 फेरे बाद में ले लेना. Okay. Now I want to tell you again, success does not come from what you learn. आज जो सुन के चले जाओगे उससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Success comes from what you do with what you learn. So what is important? Action. What is important? Implementation. Okay? So you will say with me, massive action. Massive action. So what will you do after today? Will you go and sleep? No, you will sleep of course, but you will not sleep over this lesson. You will take down your notes, you will write down, and all those who would share with me, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you some prizes. I want to see how many people, you know, मेरा क्या, मैं बॉम्बे से आया हूँ, 2 दिन का टाइम इन्वेस्ट किया है. And I have come for free. And I charge very heavily for my talks. Why I have come? Because of my love for you. I love children. If you don't know why I love children, if you don't know why I love students, then you have to see my TEDx talk. So if you go to, like the first slide that you saw, first thing in my video, where I said, have I come to this planet to pay bills? That is from that TEDx talk which I gave in a Dehradun school. You must watch that TEDx talk to tell you how I could have stayed back in the army for another 5 years and become a general. But my love for children was stronger than my love for the country at that time. I said, I've served the country for 34 years. 20 years I'm serving the children. And that's why I'm here today. So that's why I need, if I love you, then I also need your love. So how many of you love me? Wow, that's good. If some of you had done this, I would have been okay. Right. So now because I said that success will come from what you do with what you learn. एक कान खोल लीजिए. Just do that little exercise. Go here. First put them down, down. And now put them to the side. बस अब खुले रहेंगे. So now, so are you ready now? Yes, sir. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Very good. Now we are going to do something, and I want the photographer to be ready, but here. Okay, very important. And यहाँ video on रखना ज़रा, ठीक है? Okay. I said, are you ready? Are you ready for what? For what? Quickly. Are you ready for what? To learn. Very good, to learn. Yeah. What is? Sorry? Action. We want to take action. Okay, what is? What are you excited about? What do you want to do today? Come on. How many of you want to have fun? How many of you want to have fun? What is the spelling of fun? F-U-N. My God. What is the spelling of fun? That last girl. What is the spelling of fun? नहीं यार ये पता नहीं कौन सा पुराना जमाने का हुआ. अच्छा अभी I am going to tell you the spelling of fun and you are all going to repeat with me. Okay? So say with me. F. और जोर से. U. N. This is the fun you're going to have. I promise you. But while you're having that fun, if you learn something, please don't blame me for it. Because I have come to have fun with you. अगर उसमें से कुछ learn हो गया तो that's a byproduct. उसके लिए मेरे को मत बोलना सर आपने तो बोला fun हमने तो learn कर लिया. Okay? So that's what it is. Now, I also want to ask my dear friend Madhur, where are those pens, sketch pens and यार they should be with them ना. कहाँ है किसी के दिख तो नहीं रहे सामने. नहीं यार not this यार जो दो sticky paper and pen. Have you forgotten about it? Please immediately बांटने शुरू कर दो करके. हाँ some people can go there. Take off दो करके peel off करके दो सबको. And where will the pens come from now? Everyone has to have a big pen. Okay, right. We'll come to that later. So now, okay, while this is going on, let me see, because I want to start when all of you have already got your papers, pens and all and you're ready, right? Okay, so while you're doing that, I also, okay, we'll do an exercise. We'll play a small game quickly. ठीक है? I want a volunteer. एक volunteer चाहिए. Come on quickly, volunteer. Yes, come. What's your name? रोशनी. क्या देखो रोशनी चमक भी गई. आने से ही रोशनी चमक गई. अच्छा. Roshni, you look like a very good girl because you've been smiling and answering my questions. You look very good. Can you do me a favor? Can you go out for a while? Yeah. And close the door behind you. Close the door and be a little awake. Why did she go? Because you told her. So whatever I tell she do. how many of you would also, because I tell you, can you please go out, you go out, you raise your hand. How many of you will go out?
No, sir.
All of you go out.
Register. Register.
Sorry?
We will register. We will register.
No, no. I am saying if I ask you similarly, can you please go out? Will you go out or not?
Yes, sir.
How many of you will not go out? How many of you will not go out? Nobody. Itne obedient. Oh my God. No, this is a record. I go to so many colleges. 10-15 तो निकल आते हैं सर मैं नहीं जाऊंगा रिबेल्स होते हैं पता नहीं क्या बट यहाँ तो सारे ही मान रहे हैं मेरी बात ओ माय गॉड आई मस्ट बी अ पॉपुलर गाय दैट मीन्स एनीवे if I was in your place I wouldn't go out because I would ask why am I going out I should know what are you saying
That's why I say what I say.
what it is why am I going out how long will I be out ठीक है अभी हम जितनी देर बैठ रहे हैं वो क्या कर रहा है कर रही है सॉरी रोशनी क्या कर रही है हाँ शी इज क्यूरियस पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है पता नहीं क्यों मेरे को वाह भेज दिया अच्छा कैन शी गो टू द वॉशरूम बिकॉज शी नोज कभी भी बुला लूंगा कैन शी गो एंड हैव अ कप ऑफ कॉफी बट इफ शी आस्क्ड मी सर हाउ लॉन्ग डू आई हैव टू गो आउट एंड आई सेड 5 minutes then she knows 5 minutes okay I'll quickly go to the washroom I want to wash my face whatever ठीक है now ना तो उसने पूछा मैं क्यों जा रही हूँ अच्छा आप बोलते हैं कि मैं करूँगा तो हमसे पूछते हैं भी तो just because you're so obedient that I said I'll go out you'll go out and am I doing this in my life am I doing this in my life कि जो मेरे को कोई बोलता है मैं कर देता हूँ so that is what we are going to not think about okay let's get Roshni can you call her back did you hear me okay are you sure even if you did come good girl now listen when you went out ये सब मेरे को पूछ रहे हैं कि रोशनी बाहर क्यों गई पता नहीं तो मैंने कहा तुम बताओ why did you go out
Because you asked me to.
so you'll do whatever I tell you to do if I say go and slap her will you do it
No.
I'll say slap me
No, obviously not.
obviously not that means you won't do everything I say
Huh.
conditional
Exactly.
जो मेरा दिल करेगा
It's not like that. If it's hurting her, then I should. Why will I do that?
हाँ but if I okay it's not hurt you I'll tell you please stand up here and dance
That would be pretty weird, yeah.
that will be pretty weird so that means you are going to take decisions it's judgmental कि जो मेरे को weird नहीं लगेगा वही मैं करूँगी अगर weird होगा तो मैं नहीं करूँगी ठीक है ना it's okay but tell me right now as we are talking all this is something coming to your mind that could you have done something or you had to go out did I have a pistol in my pocket to say go out otherwise I'll kill you then why did you go out
Because I thought he.
courtesy sake courtesy sake respect for you how sweet and thank you for that respect and courtesy but tell me now can you think of it ki what could you have done
I would have not even raised my hand.
no that's not a good thing he tell you something come on stand up tell her what could she have done what is the purpose why am I going out how long will I be there
I thought you will tell me when I come back.
assumed okay you know that ASSUME have you heard of that make an ass of you and me okay assume mat karo because what you think I'll do I may not do that okay so thank you very much for volunteering please give Roshni a big hand okay stop we will follow a ritual today we'll say wonder clap and you do a wonder clap you know what's a wonder clap 1 2 3 no but 3 okay wonder clap for Roshni it has to be together okay wonder clap better but you still have to synchronize thank you very much what did you learn from this little exercise please what did you learn from this exercise come on what's your name
There is nothing wrong in asking.
there's nothing wrong in asking or I should know the purpose of what I'm doing in life. I should know. So please write down this one word in your thing. Why? Do I know my why? Do I know my why? And Madhur, I had given you a task, please remember that. I want you to go and Google for a person called Simon Sinek. How many of you have known about him? So Simon Sinek has got a a TEDx talk. It's not TEDx, sorry, it's TED talk. No, TEDx only. TEDx talk on the golden circle. And you must watch it. He says your why has to be stronger. Okay, and I won't give you the details of that because most people in the world start with, what do I need to do? You have to start with, why do I need to do it? Okay, so you have to have your why clear. Why am I doing what I want to do? Why do I want to be an engineer? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to settle down in Varanasi? Why not XY place? Okay, why? Challenge the status quo. What your parents were doing, what your grandparents were doing, you may not be doing now and you don't need to do that. अगर उनके पास गूगल होता तो वो भी कुछ और करते, अगर उनके पास व्हाट्सएप होता वो भी कुछ और करते, ठीक है? So there are many things that they taught you, which they did, which you still need to do. They told you to tell the truth, you still have to do it. Okay? But they said walking is very good, it may not be good, I can't walk 20 kilometers to my work. Okay? So you will have to adapt to changes and you will have to look at what is your why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is my purpose? What is the purpose of my life? Why am I on this planet? That's what my TEDx talk video will tell you. Why am I on this planet? Everyone on this planet has a purpose. What's my purpose? Find your purpose. I found my purpose at the age of 52 and decided to change from the army to education world. Then I realized, why do people have to wait for 54 years to learn their purpose? I said, okay, now let me go and help people learn their purpose earlier. How many of you would like to learn things like this? Raise your hands. So there is a free, two things are freely available to you from me. One is my podcast on Spotify. It's called Zindagi Unplugged. 48 episodes. I can promise you, you will find most of them absolutely relatable to you. And you will find that whatever is your challenge today, like when I asked these three people who came on a call with me on Zoom, and I said, what are your challenges? Each one of the challenges was covered. I sent you 12 links to my podcast. Is that right? Rania? Where is it? Yes. 12, all, whatever you said was there. Directly, indirectly. And there is only 12 out of the 40. There are 48 episodes, but some of them are part 1 and part 2. So there are about 30, 40. Second is every Friday, you can write this down. Every Friday at 6 p.m., I come on an Instagram live where we talk about self-development. Every Friday I bring up a topic on how you can become a better version of yourselves. Now if you miss it, you know you can go to IGTV and watch the recording later. But that is content available to you. And the third one, of course, is that you could join my youth community. I've got a BSB community for youth. You can join it where every last Thursday of the month at 4 o'clock, I'll be doing a free Zoom webinar in which I'll cover something for half an hour and half an hour for question answers. So that is the place you can come and ask me what is relevant to you in your life, what is not working for you. And if anyone wants, I also give a free 20 to 30 minutes consultation on Zoom to anyone who has a personal problem and wants me to help you, guide you through it. Okay, now this is what I wanted to tell you. But now let's get back to some action. Shall we have some action? Yes, sir. Please stand up. Please sit down. I didn't ask you to sit down. No. Okay. I saw most of you use your right hand to listen. No? Now you use your left hand. Okay. Again, five people. You have to say high five. But can you move? No, you have to move. That's what I'm saying. You can't be in your place. Move around. And also sit down somewhere else. You don't have to come back here once. Okay, listen. Hello. Hello, just a minute. No. I haven't told you what to do. Stop it. You just have to have this little notebook and pen that I've given you in your hand. And if you go around, go 3 rows behind, then sit down there only. You don't need to come back. Your bag will be safe, I'll make sure. Nobody will steal your bag. Okay? Right. So, now you will do with left hand and say, I am amazing. Okay? I am amazing. You said, well, you are, first you said you are awesome. Is that right? Now you say, I am amazing. Come on. Okay, stop. I didn't ask you to sit down. I can keep chatting, you can't stand. अब दोनों हाथों से करें. And you will say, we are outstanding. Okay, stop. Now I want you to shuffle around and sit not in the row that you were sitting earlier. Come on, quickly. Sit. Okay. Are you enjoying? Yes, sir. So now when you have to say yes, sir, I'll tell you how to say yes, sir, please. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now you don't follow what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing. So I say, are you enjoying yourself? You won't say anything, but you will do like this. Just enjoy it. Don't go ahead and on. Okay. Are you enjoying yourself? वॉलंटियर हो. ये क्या हो गया, सब स्लाइड्स खराब हो गए. ओके, so now we are going to start and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to go about it. I'm going to be asking you, why are we learning about military leadership? Why is it, why do you call it think of? Tell me, why did you think of Commando Talks? Why did you think that an army officer can come and tell you something? Or engineers, अरे यार army तो engineer के spelling नहीं मालूम होते unless you're in the engineering course. Why do you think? Why do you want to learn lessons from military leadership? It has nothing to do with you.
Because commandos have implemented that with that necessary in their life and help the country and
should learn military leadership. Any volunteer will read this out clearly, loudly? Anyone? Yeah.
Military leaders uniquely guide their teams through perilous terrains and extreme conditions, inspiring courage and resilience amidst constant risk.
Thank you.
This unparalleled responsibility makes military leadership the ultimate test of leadership.
Thank you very much. One day clap for her. Now, yeah. याद है मेरे? कैसे करना पड़ता है? अच्छा ओके. ये इंजीनियरिंग कहना टेक्निकल है. अच्छा. Now, I personally believe that all leaders have challenges. Whether you are in the corporate, you are an educational leader, like I say, principal of a school is an education leader, okay? Or whether you are a sports leader, maybe a cricket team captain, hockey team captain, you are leading a team. You could be a political leader, you could be a bureaucratic leader. Everyone has challenges. But does any one of these leaders have the challenge of taking its people into dangers of terrain, of weather? Does any of these people take people in Siachen and stay there for many months? आपके घर में एक फ्रिज है, उसमें बर्फ कितने डिग्री पे जमती है? हाँ? -4. A domestic fridge freezes ice at -4 degrees Celsius, right? Imagine that you are living in that type of a freezer, which is about how many? 8 to 9 times, maybe 6 times colder, -30 degrees. And you are living there morning till night. Oxygen is rare, so you can't breathe very well. You get tired after a very little time. There are crevices, there is snow all around. You don't get food, so a lot of things. So does any other leader take his men or his teams to extreme area things? And same thing with deserts. I've been in Pokhran with 54 degrees Celsius. I don't know, you can't imagine how we survived there. And it's not only the temperature. There's no shade. So you're sitting in your tent, but the tent is so heated up. You eat sand, you breathe sand, you live sand, right? So a military leader takes people into all types of challenges, including loss of your limb or even life. No other leader does that. So can you agree that today leadership is all about influence? Okay. Marshall Goldsmith says leadership is influence, nothing, sorry, this is not Marshall Goldsmith, this is, okay, I'm just forgetting. But anyway, jiska bhi hai, it is leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. If I can influence my jawans to face bullets, we all agreed that सबको डर लगता है ना लाइफ से, और सामने से बुलेट आ रही है और अब जा रहे हैं आगे. How old were you when the Kargil war took place? I think some of you wouldn't have been born, and some of you would have been babies. How many of you were born in 1999? No one. No one. So you haven't seen it. But that was the first time there was a war which people saw in their bedrooms on the TV. उससे पहले तो कभी war में ऐसे हुआ नहीं था. People like Barkha Dutt and all, they went. You may have seen videos when she interviewed Vikram Batra, who said ye dil mange more and all that. And now this year there have been lot of YouTube videos. You must watch them. They'll give you a very good idea of how tough this operation was. And the enemy sitting on those heights, who had an advantage, they didn't even need ammunition. Even if they threw stones at you, you would be killed. And still the Indian army did that. Why? For the love of the nation? No, for the love of my battalion. When one person died, Vikram Batra said, we will go and take revenge. Okay? They achieved one victory, he said, ye dil mange more, aur chalo aage. And he died. And aren't those dialogues which he said to his fiancée that आऊंगा जरूर या तिरंगा लगा के आऊंगा या तिरंगे में लिपटा हुआ आऊंगा, but आऊंगा जरूर. You listen to these girls who became, whose fiancés died or whose newly married husbands died, who little children's fathers died, and they were all in the age group of 20, 25. Okay, in 71 war, I've had about 23 of my course-mates, because we were commissioned in December 70. We didn't even have 1 year's complete commission when they died. So all about 20, 21, 21. Okay, so why do we go and do it? And it's a universal phenomena. Simon Sinek says in many of his videos that if you ask some of these people, even in other countries, other armies, why do you do it? You know what they say? Because he would have also done the same for me. So that trust between each other, that, and even if I go, my battalion, my officers will take care of my wife. And that is phenomenal. What we do for our widows, government doesn't do much, but we ourselves do a lot. Anyway, so going a little long, I think. So this is why there are a lot of lessons to learn from military leadership. So now we all asked you what is a commando, and you've already given answers. So I will just rush through some slides to tell you what are commandos, but I'm not going to spend too much of time because we are getting late. So you need to understand that when you talk of commando talks, I don't know how many commando talks have taken place earlier, and I don't know how many people would have explained this. I think people take it for granted that everyone knows who's a commando. So I thought today, it took me a little time to even Google and find out the exact definition, because if I gave you my version, it could have been a little vague. Okay, so I'm not reading them out. You please quickly read them out. And I'm also going to do one thing. I'm going to leave this PPT. It's already there in the group. So I can tell Kushagra and Madhur and all that to share it with all of you. So you can even read it later. So commandos are highly trained elite soldiers. They do most challenging and dangerous things and all. I'll tell you 2-3 highlights. People think that commandos are only physically fit. I'll tell you what commando training is. You can keep reading that and listening to me. Commandos will be like, for 1 month probation we have for commandos. In that they never sleep for more than 3 hours a night. For 1 month they don't sleep for more than 3 hours a night. So you're all the days you are suffering from lack of sleep. They are given only food at the right time, no in between. कि भूख लगी है जरा एक समोसा खा लेते हैं. Can I have a patty? Can I have a snack? There's nothing like that, right? They do a 40 kilometers march, and not in your track suits and beautiful Nike shoes. No, they do it with those boots, with the pack that they carry with about 20 kgs of weight is a part of your body. They say वो हमारा body का appendix है. और जो rifle है, it's called an arm. It is known as the third arm. It has to be with you. You can't leave it. Even when you go for a shit in field area, you carry the rifle with you. Okay. So you stay like this. After 40 kilometers walk, you come back, and the end point is what? Where do you think is the end point? Some rest house? What is the end point? The end point is firing range. 40 kilometers walk करके आओ, they give you a little नींबू पानी, they give you 15-20 minutes rest, half an hour's rest, and that line में लग जाओ, और गोली चलाओ. And if you don't pass that, you will get more रगड़ा. ठीक है? So that means after 40 kilometers, your aim is still to be good. Okay. Then you go sleep. Next morning, you will be sitting down in classes, and they'll ask you now write a paper on what happened in the 40 kilometers walk. And there's no Google that time, and also they don't allow anything. Huh? लिखना है, no chat GPT. अभी तो WhatsApp पे भी I just learnt it a few days back कि Meta is on WhatsApp also. So now everything will happen like this. You people will stop using your brains very soon. You can give them away on rent or something. So they do emotional, mental, physical toughness. So they are all-rounders. It's not just that they are physically fit. Okay? And where do they stand out? Even in the army, commandos are a different category of people. And I want you all to watch some videos. And if you want my help, I'll give you some. I have spoken on that. The 26/11 that happened in 2008. Then you would have been 6-7 years old. I don't know whether you heard about it or not, but you're too young to do that. So when the terrorists came and attacked Taj Hotel, they attacked 4 places. But I'm just giving an example of Taj Gateway, which is called Taj Mahal Palace. And I'm giving you this example where people said never happens in corporate. Firstly, the NSG, 3 days, 4 days, the Maharashtra government and police could not do anything. And when they called in the army, the commandos came from Gurgaon, from NSG, right? They had no information, no maps, nothing. All they were told was, and वो भी बड़ी लंबी कहानी है, they were kept at the airport for 12 hours waiting कि अभी जाएंगे, like what Roshni was doing. You know, they were with their boots on, they can't even rest. कि बस अभी जाएंगे. It's something like that. You are asked to give a presentation and you are told you will be called anytime. And for 12 hours you are waiting and the presentation is not happening. What will be your mental and physical state? And then they got into an aircraft, they land up in Bombay, and then they are taken in the best buses. You know what are best buses? Are you all aware of it? In Bombay, best is a name which is for Bombay something transport, whatever. It is like DTC of Delhi. They were the dirtiest bloody buses. These Jawans, these NSG commandos were not even given an air-conditioned bus. They land up at Gateway and there they are told of the mission. And there's only one line, I'm going to be talking about that, one line statement given as a mission to all these people, and that was कोई सिविलियन को गोली नहीं लगनी चाहिए और कोई टेररिस्ट बचना नहीं चाहिए. Simple. No other thing. 1100 rooms were searched in 48 hours, 72 hours, 3 days. 72 hours, 1100 rooms searched, created a world history that पूरी दुनिया में ऐसे ऑपरेशन में पूरी दुनिया के रूम्स काउंट कर लो वो भी इतने नहीं थे. And there has been a case study of why did this happen. Another case study which Harvard took, and I've got a report of that. It's I think about 20 pages report. I've also got a condensed part of it. Why did Taj do it? Taj में जितने जो staff था, जो उनके employees थे, they knew the way out. वो पीछे से जा सकते थे. They could have saved their lives, but they stayed back to look after guests. And within 72 hours, all guests, 100% of them, all the deaths and all whatever happened before the commandos came in. The moment the commandos came in, there were no more deaths. And 100% of the guests that were staying in the hotel were evacuated safely out of the hotel. Isn't that a great thing? Don't you feel like clapping for them? Now, this is what commandos do. For 72 hours they didn't sleep. 72 hours, zero sleep. 72 hours, zero water, zero food. But what was happening was, कि in the hotel they are going around, कहीं सेब दिख गया तो सेब खा लिया, कहीं मूली दिख गई तो मूली खा ली, कहीं पानी की बॉटल मिल गई तो पी ली, कहीं जूस मिल गया तो जूस पी लिया. That's it. And Jawans don't go to 5-star hotels. They don't even know the layout. They don't know what to get where. Okay. So this is the way the commandos work. Okay. So now what are we going to learn from this is, तुम बोलोगे commandos तो करते हैं, हमें क्या करना है? I am going to tell you a couple of things that you can do and become not commandos. You don't have to become commandos, but you have to become a better human being so that you start doing things that when you go out in the corporate, I want some of your colleagues to tell you, yeah, why are you so different? How do you do this when others don't do? And that is what my aim today is. And that aim is not going to finish in 1 hour or 1.5 hours. It depends on how many people want to learn. I'll be happy to do more Zoom calls with you, whatever, that depends on your college. I am available. Okay, and available for free. I'm not charging anyone. Unless you want to do a one-to-one coaching session with me, which is a different matter. Okay, now I'm talking about, oh, now this something is going wrong with the formatting. Okay. That happens when you do it from the drive. Anyway. So now we are coming to, I'm going to tell you 5 top values which the commandos do or which the army does, which you can learn from. 5 of them. There are many of them. And I can't cover all, so I've just picked up the 5 of them which they're not the best, but I thought they were most applicable to you as students, right? So first is, what should be my aim? So I started with Roshni कि आप गए, आपको पता ही नहीं कि आपका aim क्या है, आप क्यों जा रहे हो, आप क्या करने जा रहे हो, आप कब आओगे, ठीक है ना? So you should know your aim. You should know the aim of your life. I was 10 years old when I decided I want to go to the army. And I went to the army. If you listen to my Josh talk in Hindi, there's a Josh talk in Hindi, and in that I give out a story of how I was rejected medically and I thought now I cannot join the army. I never had a second choice, which I think I should have had, but nahi thi. But with my manifestation, with my eagerness to join the army, the universe came around, helped me. I got through appeal medical board and I joined the Indian. Right? So the aim was what? To be in the army. To rise as much. But theek hai, 34 years ke baad I saw there's another aim that cropped up, that I have to do something for children, so I came out. Right? But still achieved the 3rd highest rank I could have. Right? Thank you. So you must have an aim very clearly. Now, in the army, I want to tell you something, and this will be very useful to you. Just listen to me very carefully on this. Before I come to this, I'm saying that we have in the army, the first principle of war is called selection and maintenance of aim. Selection and then maintenance. That means you keep an eye on it. आपने एक टारगेट चुन लिया, फिर उसको ध्यान में रखना है. अभी ये चुना है तो कल उधर नहीं हो जाना चाहिए. You have to have your aim fixed. Just like Arjun told about the, आंख, चिड़िया की आंख का है. वो चिड़िया की आंख के ऊपर निशाना रखना है. ठीक है? वो भीम को तो पत्ते भी दिख रहे थे, उसको तो पूरा पेड़ ही दिख रहा था. ठीक है? पर अर्जुन सेड मेरे को तो और कोई नहीं दिखता. उसने बोला मैं नहीं दिखता हूं. द्रोणाचार्य सेड मैं नहीं दिखता हूं तुम्हें. बोला माफ कीजिए गुरुदेव, अभी तो आप भी नहीं देख रहे हैं. That is what you need to have about aim, right? Okay. So now, what happens in the army is, how many of you agree with whatever knowledge you have, that when army goes into war, it does 100% planning. Planning to the last thing, you know, मेरा क्या है, कितनी bullets चाहिए, कितना ये चाहिए. How many of you think the army goes very, very well planned? Right? So when we are doing this planning, there is something that is taught to us, and I want you to write down these 3 questions. They will come handy to you in anything you do in life. The first thing you say is, what is my mission? Or I would break it down to saying, what is my task? अभी आपको ना, you practice this in the next 2-3 months. आपको कोई project मिलता है, आपको कोई भी task मिलता है, whether it is about studies, whether it is about games, whether it is about conducting, like what my friend, what is your name, sorry? Chetan. Chaitanya or Chetan? So what Chaitanya was doing, that he's been given a task to be in the skills development center and be responsible with Navya for conducting this. Task मिल गया, ठीक है? Am I clear about this task? Now you can go back to your senior and say, what I have understood is that my task is this. Is that correct? So that ये नहीं कि सर आपने तो मैंने तो ये सोचा ये करना है, जैसे मधुर ने बोला मैंने सोचा ये करना है, ठीक है ना? Check back 10 times. Is my task? So you will not move ahead till your task is clear. So first is, what is my task? Am I clear about it? Go back to your senior, make sure that you know your task. The second question is, what does it involve? What does it involve? It involves checking the PPT, it involves seeing the attendance, it involves whatever. You will have a checklist of 20, 40 things. This is what my task involves. And in this task we are told, what if this doesn't happen? What if the URL is not working? What if the electricity goes off? What happens if it starts raining? What happens if the students are all sleeping? Ask all types of questions to yourself that what all can go wrong, and be prepared. When the Indian Army went into Blue Star operations in 1984, I have spoken to the general who conducted that operation, and he told me that they had 14 plans to go into the operation. 14 plans. But what worked was the 15th one. So a lot of people said, then why make 14 if they are not going to work? But he told me that because of the 14 plans, you had said, अगर ये करेगा तो ये करेंगे, ये करेगा तो ये करेंगे. जब उसने कुछ mixture कर दिया, तो आपको 15th plan बनाने में time नहीं लगा, because you had to just join 2-3 plans and execute it. But because you made 14 plans, you had given a thorough analysis to the whole situation, what all can happen. What can the enemy do? And as an attacker, when you're going, you have to say, what can I do that the enemy can't even imagine he'll do? Now that's the game. That's the chess game. That I don't know what the enemy's move is going to be. Okay, so who is the winner? Who has a better move? So what is my task? What does it involve? And the next one is, how far can I plan now? You can't do everything right now. So what is my next step? There are two guys, they want to get married. One chap went, army का example हम देते थे. One chap went home, his parents have fixed up a girl and everything is done, engagement is done, so he's going to get married. Another guy is still looking for a match. Both want to get married. Is the aim to get married? Yes. How far can I plan now? So we say that person's aim now becomes, in future is going to get married. That's a big aim. Big aim. But what is my immediate aim? My aim is to look for a girl. Because I can't get married till I have a girl. Right? So that means, how far can I plan now? Don't let me jump. अभी शादी हुई नहीं है, बोलो मेरे बच्चे कौन से स्कूल में जाएंगे? You can't do that. Okay, so that is what it says. So these three questions can be applied to any task in the world, and please try it out, and I'll be very happy if somebody can give me a feedback that I tried it out, it worked, it didn't work, or whatever happened. Right? Now I'm going to tell you something. We go very planned, but our plans last only till the contact with the enemy is made. Enemies come with his plans, I have come with my plans, like in chess. But when we meet each other, what happens? Can somebody tell me what happens when we meet each other, when the contact is made? What is happening here? Slides. Why nahi? Okay, anyway, yeah. When the contact is made, chaos takes place. Chaos. And we in the army, in our training, are taught how to handle chaos. Please write down this. From today onwards, learn that the corporate world is not going to be a fair game. You will not be able to predict क्या होने वाला है. बहुत funny चीजें होंगी. This girl says that is very weird. So every day you in the corporate world, when you get a job, they'll say what weird things are happening here. Okay, Roshni? So be prepared for a lot of weird things happening. So, are you prepared to handle those weird things? Life is not going to come to you with a bed of roses. It is in cricket. Will you be able to play every ball that comes? You can't say कि नहीं वो तो full toss आ गया ना इसलिए I couldn't do it. Okay, so you will have to play every googly. That is what it is. So when we do in a thing, we plan in phases. We work on each phase. That okay, I do this first, do it properly, then do the next thing, then do the next thing. So we break our tasks into smaller tasks. Again, write down, when you do your goal setting and all, you break your goals into sub goals. You break your yearly goals into quarterly goals, into monthly goals, into weekly goals, so that, and then we do rehearsals and mock exercises. That means we simulate ideas and then work accordingly, right? Now, when we come to, now I'm coming to you. So I've already told you what you can do as a student. Right now, start working on these 3 questions. Know what your aim is. So in the army, like what I say is, my aim was, like the war is, to win the war is, I should join the army and reach a higher rank. Right? Then, do I win every battle? No. I can keep losing battles, but I win the war. So those battles are smaller goals. Some of them I win or achieve, and some of them I don't achieve. And whatever I don't achieve doesn't matter. I'll make up, I'll do something else. I lost this peak, I'll go and capture the another peak. Right? So that is how we are doing. Now, I want to take your life to another place where when you sit in a, oh, this is something, Rapido. Okay. So I say Google and, I say Ola and Uber, but I was told कि यहाँ तो कोई Rapido है. Okay, Rapido. So if I sit in a Rapido, what does the driver ask me? He knows the present position. What does he ask you? Destination. जाना कहाँ है भाई? अभी what if I tell him कि यार भैया ले चलो, बोले कहाँ ले चलो? यार कहीं भी ले चलो, वहीं ले चलो जहाँ बहुत खुशी मिलती है. कहाँ ले जाएगा आपको? अच्छा ऐसे करो, आंटी के घर ले चलो. कौन सी आंटी भाई? कहाँ रहती है? उसको तो एग्जैक्ट जगह चाहिए. यस और नो? अब बोलोगे मेरे को अंधेरी ले चल, बोलेगा अंधेरी में ले चलूँ, अंधेरे में ले चलूँ, कौन से खड्डे में ले चलूँ? गिव मी एग्जैक्ट प्लेस. सो व्हाट यू डू इज you have to, so let's say I am at AB, this is my start point, right? I am here today. Where do I want to go? I want to go to my destination, which is B. What is my path? What is my path? What way should I take? Sorry? Straight line joining A and B. That's a fantastic answer. That is my path. Right? This is path and direction. Your path and your direction is now clearly known to you because you know your present position and you know where you're going to go. Does life let you go like that? Do you think life lets you go on this path? What path does it take? This is the path that life makes you take. Right? But because you knew the destination, you kept coming back to that line of direction. But if you didn't know that, and let's say somewhere you wavered off and kept going somewhere else, would you ever reach your place? But some people don't reach that place where they wanted, they reach somewhere else which is better. No, that's a fluke. But that's not life. Then you're playing Paplu, blind chal, with life. So you can't do that, right? Now, there are 5 parameters that are important for you in life. The slides are, okay. So 5 parameters are important. One is you need to know your own position. You need to know your destination. Oh, I forgot to tell you, oh, the lines have already come. Let's say you make a slight mistake in the direction. Will you ever reach your goal? So if you take off, let's say from Varanasi to Delhi, right, in an aircraft, and in the direction that he sets on the compass, let's say he makes a half a degree का error, तो plane Delhi पहुंचेगा कभी? वो जयपुर पहुंच जाएगा, वो चंडीगढ़ पहुंच जाएगा, पर कहीं पर वो दिल्ली नहीं पहुंचा. Yes or no? So you have to have your destination, your direction very clear. So now we also want to reach at a particular time. Yesterday I almost missed my flight, so I was thinking cancel करना पड़ेगा. Anyway, now अगर आपकी flight miss हो गई, you won't reach there at all, right? So, and I also want to reach there. I can't reach because if I had come today, I would have not been here for time because the flight reaches at 3:40, right? So I have to reach there at time. So the next question comes at कि मेरे को किस स्पीड पे जाना पड़ेगा कि मैं वो टाइम पे पहुंचा. ठीक है. Now there are two things. One is the speed, one is the direction. What is more important? Between the two. Why is direction more important?
बिकॉज हम थोड़ा वेट भी कर सकते हैं और जो चीज़ के लिए हम इतना वर्क कर रहे हैं वो हमारे पास एक दिन के बाद, एक हफ्ते के बाद आएंगी अगर हम सही डायरेक्शन में होंगे. तो अगर हम दूसरी किसी डायरेक्शन में होंगे तो हम वहाँ नहीं पहुँचेंगे.
वंडर क्लैप फॉर रोशनी. Wonder clap. Good. Very good answer. So between the two, although both are important, you said rightly, but between the two, if you are going very speedily in the wrong direction, you will mess it up. So in life also, don't go so fast that you are losing your direction. Very important point. In today's generation, this is happening. People are in too much of a hurry. People want to achieve their goals immediately. आज वो ज्वाइन करते हैं, बोलते हैं मैं तो अगले दिन CEO बन जाना चाहिए. People today are looking for very quick success. And there are some people they see, oh my God, she's 22, she's a YouTuber, she earned 1 CR. यार हमको अभी तक CR के कितने zeros होते नहीं समझ आता है. ठीक है. Now that may happen by a fluke, that may happen with any reasons, but because she could do it, will you do it? No. No. She may have a flair for it, she may have some talent about it, she may have been lucky about it, whatever. So let's not copy people. Let's live our life the way we are living. This is my book which I have written, and one of you will be lucky to get this book today. Okay, it's called Design Your Life. And this book was written after my 17 years of experience with children. This book has only got stories, no theories. All my stories with my experiences with children, and I said you must live a life that you want to live and not live a life that others tell you to live, including your parents. मैं अपने बच्चे को इंजीनियर बनाऊंगा. यार तुम कौन हो? I have come to this planet with my purpose, not for my parents' purpose. And the parents, when you become parents, please make sure that you let your children achieve the purpose of their life, not yours. I wanted to become a doctor. I couldn't now. I'm going to make my daughter a doctor. एक और story है इसमें. One general, he wanted his daughter to become a doctor. She became a doctor. लंबी story है, मैं बिल्कुल short में बताता हूँ. He threw a party when she became a doctor. And बहुत लोग आए. Everyone was very happy. And then the general Saab came on a mic and said, thank you very much for this joining in this celebration. It has been a great day of my life. I always had a dream that my daughter should become a doctor, and today she has become a doctor. Thank you very much, clap, slap and all that. Then the girl says, sir, Papa, can I also come and say something? She took the mic and she said, ladies and gentlemen, I became a doctor to please my father. But I find that's not what I wanted to do in life. From tomorrow, I'm joining the fashion designing course. I'm not going to do any practice. My career will start tomorrow. Right? I know of 2 more people. One is my friend's son. He went to USA to do engineering. And after 3 years, he says, "Mereko nahi engineering karni hai. I'm not liking it. This is not what I wanted." His father said, "Are you mad? I bloody spent so many lakhs of rupees. And now what will you do?" He said, "I'm going to make jingles. I'm in love with music, so I'm going to do some advertising jingles." He said, "Pagal hai usme, that's a hobby, okay, but that can't be a profession. What will you do with it?" And he said, "No, I have to do that." Then he said, but I wanted you to become an engineer. He said, Dad, I will show you one day that I'll employ many engineers in that business of mine. And that today is happening. Today that is happening. He's got at least 15 engineers in his company, and he is a leading audio studio in Mumbai. Okay? And then his name is Major Arun Pathak, my friend. He says, I really regret why I didn't let this chap do what he wanted to do. And I'm very fortunate. I've got 2 children. I've got a daughter who's 44, and a son who's 39. My son would never pass. I was the chairman of an army school, and he wouldn't pass. और मेरा उससे एक ही होता था dialogue. तो पास नहीं होता, तेरे मेरी नाक कटा देगा. एक दिन एक ऐसी खबर आएगी कि the only child who's failed is the chairman's son. I used to be very scared of that. Results came. 10 guys got compartments. Surely my son's name was there. But there was an exception. He was the only one who had compartment in 2 subjects. All others had 1 subject. Now I said, up to Barak would dream, you know, that thought in my mind was getting very closer. कि I used to always go and tell the principal, I want 100% results. और अंदर से एक आवाज़ आती थी, तेरा बेटा पास हो जाएगा, क्योंकि 100% में उसको भी पास होना ज़रूरी है. ठीक है? Today that boy, I'm telling you, पास हो गया, पार्टी दी. ठीक है? My daughter said, Papa, I got 89% marks, and 89 in 1999 were not what they are today. Right? 2002, whatever. No, so 12th class was 1998, 98 something. Those days people didn't get 90% marks and more. वो 94, 95, 98, 99 का ज़माना नहीं था. And she said, you didn't give a party for my 89% marks. Look at this chap, you're giving a party for 50 marks. मैंने कहा ये बहुत crucial था यार. इज्जत का सवाल था. Then I said, told my wife, Anish is not going to go to college. She said, are you mad? College तो जाना ही होता है. Anyway, long story short, he at 39 today is an undergraduate. He's never went to college. Okay. His education qualification today is also class 12 pass. Only pass. Okay. And he became a world-known photographer. He's got 2 world-class. Now, I don't know, he's not even maintaining his website, because after about 10 years, he found that he was not finding the type of money he wanted in photography. So he wanted to do a business. He did one business. It didn't do very well. He sold it. And he sold it for a good amount of money and invested in another business. And now my son-in-law and he manufacture something called Swami, a tonic water. Okay. You can just Google tonic and you will Google Anish Bhasin. You can see his podcast. I'm telling you, I wonder how his knowledge is better than mine. And he never passed. Why? Because हमारा education system है कि we want a fish to climb a tree, we want a monkey to swim, we want a rabbit to swim, we want everyone to do anything. चलो तुम स्कूल में गए, तुम ज्योग्राफी भी करो, तुम हिस्ट्री भी करो, तुम संस्कृत भी करो, तुम मैथ्स भी करो. भाई यार नहीं करना है मेरे को. I go to my teachers and say, what did you teach me? Cos theta, sin theta. पूरी still 73 years of age, मैंने एक बार भी जिंदगी में cos theta, sin theta का कोई फायदा नहीं उठाया. What was I learning it for? Anyway, that's another story. So now I am going to come to the second point, and the second point is selflessness. One of the most important things that a leader does in life, and you're all leaders by the way, is to be selfless. Selfless means that I will do something for my nation, for my organization, for my family, for my community. I will not look at my interest all the time. My interest will come in the end. The story about Ranga is very important, very interesting. In the army, we have the only competitive exam called the Staff College, Defense Services Staff College. That's in Ooty. And in my time, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time, I did that in 83. I don't think any of your parents were married then. No? I'm sure, no? So 83 I did this course, which means I was already about 32 years young that time. I'm 73 years young. I don't know how old you people are. Okay, so when I was doing this, incidentally, I want to do one little exercise. Quickly. No, कुछ भागना भुगना नहीं है, सोच के बताओ. All of you do a little calculation, but don't do it on your colored paper because we are coming for a game with that. I want to know from you, yeah, what's the time? I have really lost track of the time. 6? So what time did we agree to be here? Oh no. So how many of you are okay? So what I'll do is, all those who are keen to go, darwaza khol denge. All those who want to stay back because I want to complete. एक बंदा बच जाएगा मैं उसके लिए भी बैठ जाऊंगा. But I want to complete. How many of you are okay to sit down for another half an hour? Okay, thank you. So, what did I start saying? I just want you to write down quickly what will be your age in 2047. Those who have calculated, just tell me quickly. 41? 40? 43? So India will become 100 years independent. Our Prime Minister says we will be the third largest economy in 2047. Yes? Earlier maybe. But we will be a developed power by then. What will be the percentage of your people of the overall population? What will be the percentage of people who will be 40 to 45 in 2047? Out of the overall population, they say the range of 40 to 45 or 40 to 50 or 35, something like that, mean being 40, will be 40%. 40% of the population will be your age. That means most ministers, decision makers, bureaucrats will be all people. So do you know that on your shoulders rests the responsibility of this nation? You are the people today who are going to make India stronger than ever before. Please understand that responsibility of yours. Anyway, coming back to Ranga. So, in staff college, we used to have lockers. And wo locker was what? A drawer with a little slit on that. This size slit. So, अगर हमें कोई assignment मिलता था और बोलता था 5 बजे तक जमा करना है, तो at 5 o'clock we had to go to, everyone had a locker. Students also, teachers, instructors also. So, अगर मेरा instructor कर्नल A है, तो हम जितने कर्नल A के नीचे हैं, हम कर्नल A के लॉकर में 5 बजे डाल देंगे. वो 5 बजे अपना लॉकर क्लियर कर देगा. अगर आपने 501 पे डाला, you are not going to get marks for that. So that was to teach us time management. Right. So, similarly, this postman's job was कि he would put your letters in your locker. उसका यही काम है. But when we did staff college in 83, and he was there for many years before that, he used to be on a cycle, and we were all, those days, very few people had cars, so we used to be on our scooters, motorcycles, and if he saw that I have got a letter, he said, "Arey, how do you know who I am?" He had started recognizing the names and the faces of people, and we were 300 people. Right? Anyway, everyone said, good, but nothing happened. Now, one day what happened, there was a German officer, and he stayed on a hill where you have to walk up. You can't cycle up, there's no road going up. And his wife was alone at home in the daytime, obviously the husband was attending classes. And this guy leaves the cycle below, he walks up there, and he says, "Madam, let up." So she said, he's supposed to go and put the locker. His duty is to go and put the letter in the locker. But if he puts the letter in the locker, this man will probably see it tomorrow morning. Okay. So he says, "Why let a letter go tomorrow? Aaj hi de deta hu." So he goes and gives the letter today. So she said in her tutti futti Hindi, "What can I do for you?" He said nothing. Now, in the army, most of these people, do favors to us because they want a bottle of rum, and it is called a $1. So you used to say, like people would get a lot of work done, okay, I'll give you $1. They found that one bottle of rum worth a lot, and for us it was very cheap. So that was a good trading. So she brought out a bottle of rum and gave it to her. He said, ma'am, no, I don't drink. She'll have a cup of tea. I don't drink tea. A cold drink? No. Some water? He said, yes, water. He had a glass of water, went away. One day again he came. The third day he came, she said, sit down. She called her servant, asked her to, because they used to get servants who would speak English so that they could interpret and all. And so she got this conversation going, why are you doing it? He said, to see a smile on your face. To get a letter today instead of getting tomorrow. So what do you get out of it? He said, that's nothing. I became a postman to serve people. I'm serving. So this lady wrote an article in this magazine saying, I have never seen a man in my life before who works so selflessly that he has no incentive to look for. We say na, promotion नहीं दो, promotion दोगे, बच्चा भी बोलता है, you say you must get 80% marks, क्या दोगे? You say cycle, हाँ तो आप cycle के लिए काम होगा. We all want incentives, but he never wanted an incentive, and he's not an educated person. Anyway, the long story short, when that article got published, the commandant got, now all these people, senior people, were students. They had done the course because this chap had already spent more than 20 years in staff college. So everyone had seen him as a student also. Then you had seen him as a staff officer. So they all talked about it. Ki, what do you think about Ranga? Everyone said, sir, he has been doing it for a very long time. He said, let's do something for him. So they said, what can we do for him? So first Commandant wrote a letter to the Postmaster General that this guy has been doing outstanding service and I think he needs to be rewarded. The Postmaster General wrote back, I don't have any VSMs and all, there's no Vishish Seva medal, there's no medal in the postal department. He has also, there's no senior postman, junior postman, sub postman, कुछ नहीं है, एक ही होता है postman और उसका कोई grade नहीं है कि I can give him a promotion. So I can't give him promotion. Salary, he already got the maximum increment of his life, he can't get any more increment. I have nothing to give him. So I am sending you a letter of appreciation which you may like to hand over to him. Commandant was not happy. So he again called for a conference and everyone decided that we'll give him a cash award of 10,000. In those days 10,000 was a good amount. So they organized a tea for all class 4 employees and Ranga was called up on the stage and then the commandant told people that how beautifully he had served the staff college for so many years and then he called him up and said कि ये आपके postmaster general का letter है और ये हमारी तरफ से एक आपके लिए छोटा सा award है. He opened the envelope, saw this money there, he gave it back. नहीं साहब मैं नहीं लूँगा. He said why? He said मैंने इसके लिए किया ही नहीं था कभी. He did not accept it and give it back. I know how many people will do it. Right? Now the question that we have been asking after we heard the story or I have seen this man so I know it. The question we ask is, why can't we be Rangas? Why can't we be selfless people? Why can't we live for our own satisfaction? Why don't I compete with myself? Why don't I say that am I doing better than yesterday? Why am I competing with people? Why do I want incentives? Why want external motivation? What did motivate him? He didn't go and listen to motivational talks and all. Something from inside inspired him which is more powerful than any external motivation. So we need to be selfless. Now this is why army people are selfless. Why they are selfless? उनके DNA में, उनके blood में डाल दिया जाता है. So when we were in the IMA, General Chetwood was the first commandant of IMA, a British officer, and he to the first passing out course in IMA, in his speech said these words which got engraved in the walls as golden letters, and it is called the Chetwood Credo. You can even see it on YouTube. Okay, so it says that the safety, honor and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. ये शुरू से बता दिया कि तुम कुछ नहीं हो भाई. First you have to think of your nation. Okay, the honor, welfare and comfort of your men you command come next. Your own ease, comfort and safety come last, always and every time. Now we say that in the army, a leader is taught right from the beginning, I have 2 missions, 2 tasks. ये भी लिखना है तो लिख लो. 2 tasks an army officer is told right from the beginning. Accomplishment of mission at all costs. I tell people in the corporate, learn these 2 things. Accomplishment of mission at all costs. You can't say, I couldn't do this task because of A, B, C, Z. And the second is welfare of my men. Because you can't win a war, you can't accomplish a task with unhappy people. No, there's a very thin dividing line. If you look after too much welfare, the task doesn't get accomplished. If you get only after task, the men are not happy. So the leader has to have a very fine balance between the two. Okay, and that was the second thing we talked about, selflessness. We are talking about 5 things, 2 are over, and we got 1 activity also left we have to do. Okay, and that is activity, fly high. Okay, we're going to quickly have this game and you're going to love it. Okay, photographers, be ready wherever you are, right? It's going to be a good activity for photographers. Okay, so you have this, what is it? Sticky notes. So on the top sticky note, and don't peel it off and all please, write down your name. That's why I wanted big, no, yellow se kya dikhega kisi ko. Acha. So anyway, quickly. Acha, I can help you because Madhur helped me. Oh, who else wants? I got 2 more. I've got some more in my Priyanka, in my laptop bag. There are a few more. Who else needs? Okay, write down your name as beautifully and boldly as you can. And I told you don't use that. You already written. You are not supposed to write anything on this. So take another 2. Just write down your name as big and bold and beautiful. Quickly. 30 seconds. If you have forgotten your name, ask the neighbor. He might know. अब इसको स्टिकी नोट कहाँ चले गए? मैंने पहले ही बोला था डोंट यूज दीज 2. जो पेपर मिलेगा उस पे लिख देंगे, न्यूज़पेपर पे भी लिख देंगे. Okay, quickly write down your names, big, because we should be able to read it from a distance. ये क्या लिख रही है? छोटा इतना बड़ा लिखना है. Use the whole paper. Okay, give it to me. No, this pen will never. I want this thing. I like what's this. What's your name? Bhavya. चलो किसका हो गया? अरे यार कोई पेन किसका हो गया पेन दे. ओ नहीं यार, I want a sketch pen. ये पेन है. अब 10 रुपए का पेन लेकर. Just show me. I want your names at least like this, if not bigger, bolder. Can you read? Can that girl in the end, what is her name? Bhavya. You're also Bhavya? Okay, but what's your name? Huh?
Her name is Ranga.
And what's your name?
Shreya.
So Shreya can read Bhavya. That is what I want. That people should be able to read. Okay, let's see if he can read. Okay, Shreya, can you read this? Fail हो गई. इसको थोड़ा बोल्ड करो, जो थिक करो उसको. Okay, anyway, we are not going to waste more time. Okay, now the game begins, and the game is going to be very, very interesting. I also need somebody to help me with a timer. because I'm going to give you a time and a task. Okay. So now the task is, listen to the task. I told you, you should be clear about the task. But the only difference is you are not going to be able to come and ask me because there's going to be an announcement. I am not going to answer any questions. So you have to listen to me very carefully. Right? There's also something else to it, but that I'll tell you later. But listen carefully is my good hint. Okay. You have to place or stick this at the highest possible place. You have to stick this at the highest possible place, and the only restriction you have is 3 minutes. You can help each other, you can get a ladder, you can get a helicopter. Only restriction is 3 minutes. Time starts now. Come on, take some good pictures. And there is a prize. The person who gets highest place and qualifies in something that I haven't told you will get this book. Wow, take a picture of this. Another picture. Picture, take a picture here. I want a picture also, not only a video. I want a picture of that also standing on the door. Oh, गिरना मत, नहीं तो मेरा बैंड बज जाएगा. Okay, come down. चलो, how much time left? Okay, stop. हो गया ना टाइम, हो गया. चलो, sit down. Sit down. And now the prize for this is this book. Okay, so tell me who is the highest? Who is claiming the prize? Who says my chit is the highest? Okay, is there anyone? Let me ask a question which I told you I didn't tell you, but there's another qualifier. I wanted to give this book to a person whose name was at least 100 feet above the ground level from where I am standing. 100 feet. किसी का है 100 feet? हो सकता था कि नहीं? कैसे? हाँ? सीढ़ी से लिफ्ट तो है नहीं. हाँ. So you could have gone to the first floor, second floor. किसने मना किया आपको? Did I ever say in this room? How many of you heard me saying in this room? So do we hear things which we didn't say? Like she was assuming. So you assumed कि हमने इस कमरे में करना है. Yes or no? Listen carefully, boys and girls. Listen carefully. So nobody has won this book. मेरा फायदा हो गया. Okay. Now listen carefully. I want some silence there. Tell me, what have you learned from this? Come on, quickly. Think out of the box. But I'll tell you one thing. ये बहुत लोगों से, मतलब at least for 30-40 years I have been hearing people talk about this. Now when you have children, don't tell them to think out of the box. Tell them not to let a box be created. When your children are born, dissolve that box. So I don't say think out of the box, I say DTB, dissolve the box. हम क्या करते हैं, पहले एक बॉक्स काफी टाइम लग जाता है बॉक्स बनाने में, फिर हम लोगों को बोलते हैं, फिर हम बोलते हैं कि इस बॉक्स के बाहर आओ, तो फिर बनाया क्यों था? आई थिंक इसकी बैटरी कर देंगे. So you got to a point. Okay, what else? Think out of the box is one. Another thing is listening skills. I told you, listen carefully. childhood, we were told by our parents, by our teachers, that communication is speaking. You heard of public speaking contest? Did anyone hear of a public listening contest? Huh? Where? Where? इधर मेरी बात सुन रहे हो तो कर दिया होगा, but मैंने कभी नहीं सुना कि कोई public listening contest हुआ होगा. So guys, from today onwards start learning, and particularly as leaders, Nelson Mandela used to say, leaders say in the end. Leaders talk in the end. They let everyone talk and they talk in the end. They listen to everyone and then say what they have to say. But today's leaders don't even let others say, hey, listen, I'll tell you what to do. No leadership today. Okay, where's my clicker? Where did I keep it? Okay, so let's quickly go. Now, इसमें क्या है मैं आपको बताऊं. You have all heard these stories. You all know what happened to Nokia and Samsung? Heard it or no? No? So what happened? Nokia was a very popular, very popular phone company. In 2009 or 10, maybe 11, somewhere that time, the regional manager of West in Bombay called me and said that we have a problem. We have had the best marketing and sales team. We have recruited the best people and we are the leading telecom manufacturers or company in India. For the last 6 months, आस्ता आस्ता हमारे जब लोग बाहर जाते हैं शॉप्स में तो नोकिया का बोर्ड नीचे आ गया है और सैमसंग का ऊपर चला. सो वी आर लूजिंग आवर बिजनेस टू सैमसंग. उससे पहले क्या हुआ, the people who came out with an idea, you see, if you saw the Nokia phone, half it used to be the screen. So today our phone is bigger. पहले फोन ही छोटा था, उसमें भी एक छोटी सी स्क्रीन थी, maybe 1 inch by 1 inch or 1.5 inch by 2 inches, something like that. And the rest of it was a keyboard and the keys were also very small. So they said that we have got a way that we can give you a keyboard which will be a virtual keyboard which can come on the screen. So you can get a big screen. They said, shut up. 20 सालों से कर रहे हैं, पता है? बहुत लोग ये बोलते हैं ना, कल के बच्चे मेरे को सिखा रहे हैं. अरे, we are market leaders, don't teach us. That is what they said. Anyway, long story short, they went, Apple saw this. Apple had no way even thought of coming into the phones. They were totally a laptop company. But somewhere in Apple, they saw that there is a technology advancement there. There is a future there. And they said, let's do it. And that is how Apple was the first one to launch the idea of a touchscreen. Right? Then what happened, Nokia phone disappeared. A lot of people have been joking during COVID and all. People used to say, if you have a Nokia phone, that will be the best paperweight you can have. You couldn't even sell it for 10 rupees. So the point is, when Nokia people will go and say, हमने इतनी मेहनत की, हमने ये किया, हम market में गए, and look at these people, they've done this. Amazon, 4 guys in a 4 square foot area decided कि why do we have to have bookstores? They only started with books, huh? And they said we don't need to have stores having books, we don't have to have shops. We can sell books without even owning a place. And Amazon started from there. You know where Amazon reached from there. 4 people's disruptive idea. Uber, Zomato, all these people were disruptive ideas, right? So I was doing it at one place. The strongest man stood up, 3 of them. उसके ऊपर 3 और लड़के, उसके ऊपर कुछ और. Then they wanted somebody very light, so they had a girl right on top. So they made that pyramid type of a thing, human pyramid, to put it at a very high floor. And this was happening in Kuwait. I had gone to, sorry, not Kuwait, Muscat. Bank Muscat was a company I was training. there's another kahani of that, but I won't tell you that. So, one girl, they put her there, itna mehnat karke, and another girl, she just walked out, pressed the lift, went to the 13th floor, put her name there and came back. अरे यार तुमने इतनी मेहनत की, उसने कोई मेहनत नहीं. Sir, we work so hard. Does the world pay you for work hard or they pay you for work smart? So this is what this game teaches you. You are all looking, you know, for the ceiling. ये ceiling आपने create की, मैंने नहीं की. Look for windows in your life. Look for doors in your life. Look at opportunity. This is windows of opportunity. वो ढूंढो. Don't get stuck with things that are happening all the time. Don't think whatever got you here will take you there. Marshall Goldsmith की book है, what got you here may not take you there. What worked for 20 years earlier will not work tomorrow. So be careful. So this was the book. I'll still give one book to somebody, but I don't know who will get it. I don't know. Okay. Now the other one is, there's an army principle of war called Foresight. Not only not for leaders, it's for everyone, that you should be able to look ahead. Now in today's world what happens is, in today's world you know that data is available to people like it never was. कभी इससे पहले लोगों को इतना आसानी से डेटा नहीं मिलता और कभी इतनी आसानी से आपके पास डेटा एनालिटिकल टूल्स भी नहीं थे. So today you can plot and get a thing that if the pollution carries on at this rate, what will be the effect after 10 years, 5 years, whatever. If the traffic continues to increase at the rate it has been going by 10 years, for the last 10 years, and there's a graph, it will show you what is going to be in that year. All good leaders operate ahead of the predictability curve. You don't operate. So when in COVID, I started doing some workshops and I made more money in training during COVID than before, where all trainers were getting stuck during COVID. Why? Because I was telling them what they will do when they come out of COVID, not now. I said don't bounce back, bounce forward. Okay, right. Now I want all of you to say this with me. Okay, we are much better, much better than what we think we are. So, and when I do my activity-based workshops and camps, I make people do couple of activities one after the other, and every time I prove that what you said you'll do in 10 minutes, you did in 2 minutes. ठीक है, ऐसे तुमने कहा था 10 मिनट में करोगे. जब तुम दुनिया को जाके बोलते हो I'll do my best, तो तुम्हारे हिसाब से तो वो 10 minutes was the best because you thought that's the best I can do. But you've done it now in 2 minutes. Because earlier you didn't challenge yourself. So if you are a commando, challenge yourself. You are a commando, get out of your comfort zone and get where you will get results. Because results don't come in the comfort zone. My book has a chapter on comfort zone and it says comfort zone is the decay zone. You will decay there. You will not grow there. Comfort zone में कभी decay, कभी grow नहीं करोगे. Okay. Now we are coming to another one and this won't take too long. People talk of discipline. I say no. Discipline is normally taken as doing what you have been told to do. You'll get up at 6:30 in the morning. You'll do this, you'll do that. That is like if you are going in your car and you suddenly see a cop and quickly put on the seat belt. That is discipline because you've done it because of the scare. Right? Self-discipline is when you had put on the seat belt right at home, whether there's a cop or no, because you realize it's for my good, not for the cop's good. Okay? So self-discipline, if somebody wants to write down, there's a beautiful definition. Okay? Listen very carefully and see if you can, if you, out of all this 2 hours or whatever we are doing, even if you take this one lesson, it will be worth the time you spent here. Self-discipline is doing what you ought to do डूइंग व्हाट यू ऑट टू डू. सबको पता है ना क्या करना चाहिए. झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए, चोरी नहीं करनी चाहिए. यू ऑल नो. डूइंग व्हाट यू ऑट टू डू even when you don't feel like doing it. I know I should be going for my morning exercise, but दिल नहीं कर रहा है आज जाने का. कल करेंगे. छोड़ यार, मंडे को करेंगे. Monday is a very important day. Whatever you can't do on Tuesday, say next Monday से करेंगे. And 1st January is a very good day. From January I'll start. क्यों भाई? अभी आज से क्यों नहीं कर सकते हो? ठीक है? So doing what you ought to do, even when you don't feel like doing it, and when nobody is watching you. 2 conditions. If I do something for myself because it's good for me, even when I don't feel like doing it, and even when nobody is watching me, then it is self-discipline. And self-discipline is the strongest thing that you can do. Now I'll tell you, आप 5 साल इंजीनियरिंग करेंगे, जितना अच्छा आप इंजीनियर बन जाएंगे, बट आपकी लाइफ में अगर सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन नहीं होगा तो आप कुछ भी नहीं कर पाएंगे. Why? You set a goal, you would not achieve it because you will not take action. ठीक है? You know that you should be working so many hours. You know that you should be completing this project. Then you will procrastinate. this ये नहीं आज कल कर लेंगे, फिर होगा नहीं, फिर ऑफिस में टेंशन होगी, फिर बॉस नाराज हो जाएगा. Life will start getting into whirlwinds of failure. So I call it, you will get into a failure or a disappointment loop, because one disappointment will take you to another one and you will get into that loop. You can reverse it. If you lose self-discipline, you will go into a spiral which will take you up. So self-discipline is very important. Now the best part is, आप लोग रात को एक अलार्म लगाते हो, ठीक है? You decide I'll get up at 6 o'clock. तो आपने 6 बजे का अलार्म लगा दिया, फिर 6 बजे अलार्म बजा, क्या करते हो? स्नूज. बिकॉज मैन्युफैक्चर में कितना अच्छा है यार, पहले नहीं होता था. अरे अलार्म क्लॉक होती थी ना, उसमें कोई स्नूज नहीं होता था, पर अभी स्नूज है, पहले से ही सेट किया हुआ है, पहले से इंटेंशन है कि 10 मिनट्स का करना है, कि 5 मिनट्स का करना है, कि 15 मिनट्स का करना है, वो करके रखा है आपने. ठीक है, तो स्नूज हो गया. फिर एक 3 बार ये लाउड है, वो 6 का 6:15 हुआ, 6:15 का 6:30, 6:45 you got up. What have you lost? Sorry? 45 minutes of time you have lost. Do you all agree? 45 minutes of your life you lost. I say it's not your time, it's your life. Because those 75 minutes of your life are gone. Yes or no? Okay. When I give you 1 minute of my life, I give you, time, I give you 1 minute of my life. So better be sure kisko de rahe hain. Is it worth it or not? Now, you have lost 45 minutes. What else have you lost? What else have you lost? Huh? Discipline. What else have you lost? What else have you lost? Confidence. What else have you lost? You have lost self-respect. You have lost self-esteem. Because without your realizing, you have given your permission to yourself not to obey yourself. Have you got that? You have allowed yourself to disobey yourself. If you can't obey yourself, why will others obey you? Why will you expect others to obey you? Because you had a choice at night to put the alarm at 6:45 itself. Then why did you have to put 6 and then go to 6:45? It's a very powerful statement I have made, and it is not by me, it is by Gaur Gopal Das. A very, very important video you can see. Okay, so we have done 3, now people are getting restless. Huh? Washroom जा रहे होंगे मैं. So now we have, एक last वाला रह गया, sorry, no regret. This is a small story I want to tell you, and I'll do it as quickly. I passed out of IMA in December 1970. When you pass out from Indian Military Academy, you get 20 days leave and you go to your battalions. In this 20 days, I was traveling in a bus from Ambala to Delhi. रास्ते में एक जगह आती है सोनीपत, वहाँ बस रुकी and I went out. उन दिनों में कोई मोबाइल नहीं था, टाइम पास होना मुश्किल था, ट्रांजिस्टर भी मुश्किल से होते थे, छोटे नहीं होते थे, whatever. And in any case, you couldn't play a transistor and the bus people would beat you up for that. So, The only thing you could do in a bus was read something. So there was a bookstall, and I said, let me pick up a magazine to read. Bus mein bore ho rahe hain. In those days, there used to be a big magazine called JS. It was a very, very popular magazine with young people. It had a glazed colored cover and back cover, and it had, rest of it was black and white. And the center spread, छोटी magazine होती थी, stapled होती थी center में, binding नहीं होती थी. So you could take out that staple and take out that glazed color paper which used to become this big, which was a poster. And this poster was of a celebrity. Some actor, actress, some cricketer, some other sportsman, some national leader, ऐसे होते थे. So we used to always quickly first open the thing to see कि आज कौन सा आ रहा है. They used to never announce कि अगला poster कौन सा होगा. That was curiosity. And people used to buy JS because of that. And we youngsters used to have a lot of posters in our rooms. You know, all those beautiful actresses and this and that. वो सब होता था वहाँ पे. I opened that magazine out of curiosity, and guess what I saw there? It wasn't any celebrity. It was my own coursemate called Swapan Bhadra, who was getting Sword of Honor from the President of India. The best passing out cadet of a batch in IMA gets a Sword of Honor, which is presented by the reviewing officer, which that year was the President of India. Imagine that all the beautiful girls in this country are going to have his picture on their wall. Huh? Isn't that cool? And it's a colored one. What do you think? What do you think was the thought that came to my mind? Anyone? What do you think that if you were in my place, what would be the thought in your mind? Sorry? This very good. This picture could have been mine. Because Swapan Bhadra was not much better than me. But he set a goal for himself to pass out with a Sword of Honor. I made a goal for myself to pass out. We both achieved our goals. Yeah. We both achieved our goals, right? So therefore, when I got into the bus, I was cursing myself. Sushil Bhasin, why didn't you work harder, yaar? Sword of Honor, President of India, kya maza aa jata? Mr. Chance. काफी देर तक I kept cursing myself. Till I said, Sushil Bhasin, कब तक रोता रहेगा? Wake up. You have done a mistake, you won't do it again. And I decided something which I am telling you right now. I said, Sushil, this is the last time you regretted in your life. From today onwards, you will not regret. So I decided that now I will do everything I can so that after the event I don't say, I wish I would have done that. Guys, 1970 and today 2024, I've never regretted in my life. I did my best, left no room for that I could have done better. And even if it was like a feedback, okay, next time I'll do this better. But it was not that I lacked something there. I learnt a lesson from whatever I do. Even today's talk, I'll go back and reflect what could have I done better. That's a different matter. But I know I won't have to go and regret that I didn't do what I wanted to do. Right? Now, with that aim in mind, I'm saying, can you decide today that you will create a regret-free life for yourself? Okay? So here I have almost finished. So what I'm doing is I want to just recap and say these were the 5 things that basically brought out from a commando's life or from the army life, from military leadership, and these are all 5 things that you can do in your college right now. And in these 5 years, if you focus on them, I promise you and give you a guarantee that you will be better students than those who practice this. I know how many of you are here, I don't know the number, but I will tell you that not more than 10 of you will do it. How many of you think I'm saying wrong? Not more than 10 of you will do what I'm telling you to do. Right or wrong? Right? Right? Because he knows I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. Pehle pata logo. I thought people would say, no sir, you're wrong. We'll be more than 10. Anyway, मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, except that when you do well, I feel very happy. But it is for you. If you like it, do it. There were many more to be talked of. You can quickly take a screenshot of as it is leaving this. There were many more things I could have talked to you about what you can do in these 5 years, but I am not having the time to do it, so I just left it like that. Right? So अभी मेरे साथ सब बोलेंगे बड़े जोर जोर से, ना संघर्ष ना तकलीफ, ना संघर्ष ना तकलीफ, तो क्या मजा है जीने में, बड़े बड़े तूफान थम जाते हैं जब आग लगी हो सीने में, जब आग लगी हो सीने में, जब आग लगी हो सीने में, किसके सीने में आग लगी है बताओ, जल्दी जल्दी बताओ किसके हाथ में? हाँ, गुड 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 गुड. So now there's time for a quiz. I have finished. I leave it to him. Quiz है कि नहीं है? नहीं है. आप बाद में भी कर सकते हैं. So we have prepared a quiz for you. In any case, you can send it to them and let them do it on their own tomorrow. Yeah, launch a Google form and do it because you'll know that how much did you understand. Okay, guys, anything that you do on social media and all, do tag me. I like to connect with as many people, and you can follow me. I told you I'm most active on LinkedIn, slightly less on Instagram, but Instagram live on Friday evening at home. So anyone who wants to continue to learn more, thank you.
So, hey ladies and gentlemen. So, hey everyone. So, as we come to the end of this enlightening session, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Brigadier Sushil Bhasin for sharing his experiences and insights. Sir, your insights and experiences have been really insightful and thought-provoking. Now, I would also like to extend my heartful gratitude to all of you as the audience for being so much patient and listening to the entire session. Your questions and your active engagement in the session has been contributing in making this session a successful event. At the end, I would like to extend my gratitude on behalf of Skill Development Council to both Brigadier Bhasin and all of you. Thank you, sir.